What's up, big guy?
Brother Promo.
What you having there?
Just a little, little soda and something.
Okay.
What?
You like
Nice
that?
hat, dude. That's
like
sick.
that, man? Yeah.
TEXASWOOD.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get you one.
You didn't give me one?
Well, it's a prototype, It's a little expensive ordering it custom made, the first one, but I promise I will get you one, man.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Hey guys, I got the first guest warmed up out there. I need you in about 10
Producer
minutes.
Patrick's got an expensive prototype, man. Why does he get a hat?
No, time out. I was on the phone with him when I was on the computer making the order and doing the little design. And I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and get you a hat. And I got you, bro. I said, I got you. I got you.
What's up, guys?
Hey, I made it in.
Baby brother Rick,
yeah.
what's up?
Hey, man, glad to see you.
What the? Brother Rick got him a hat too? I didn't get a hat. He got a hat?
You're the one that's always saying, take care of Brother Rick.
What?
We'll talk to you.
All right.
I'll take care of you, bro.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Renee.
Renee Nelson got a TEXASWOOD hat and I didn't.
I'll talk to you in a little bit.
I'm Big Bob.
What happens when you take a true Texan and send him to Hollywood to make his mark in the limelight? We're about to find out, because a Texas boy can't stay gone long. This is the podcast where two totally different worlds collide. Welcome to TEXASWOOD, where two entertaining fellow Texans, Randal Reeder and Brian Promo Miller, get together with friends and surprise guests as often as possible to cuss and discuss. You'll experience the world from their Hollywood, yet very Texan point of view. Hollywood and Texas. If you ain't been to neither, then you gotta tune in. And if you've been to both, well, you may understand. It's time for TEXASWOOD.
Hey, for the podcast, hit a combo.
Our guest should introduce us today. Doing things a little different.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, joining me today for today's podcast of TEXASWOOD, we have Randal Reeder and Brian Miller.
Hey, thanks for having us, Steve.
Thanks you guys to be here. I'm glad y'all made the trip.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And we got Mr. Sweeney.
Sweeney.
That's what I call you, Mr. Sweeney. But yeah, Steven Sweeney from Headwater for Heroes. What a great guy. What a great organization. And we're here to talk about the ninth annual Headwater for Heroes combat veteran and Gold Star Family benefit. So we're going to be raising money.
We're raising money every
good
year.
Cause.
As you can see, it's the 9th annual.
Yeah.
And every year we've set records.
You know how we know you ain't lying? Because we was at the 8th annual.
Y'all was
one.
at the 8th annual.
I don't know. He must not been paying attention because he invited us back.
Yeah, I know. I guess we all that hush money.
Yeah.
We had a great
We
time.
paid the
The
people.
crowd loved you guys, and it really was a great event. We had so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
We're looking
awesome.
to do it again.
It was awesome. We almost had people not show up to the hunt. At least they showed up late. Let me say that.
Well, that had something to do with the late night.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
Lord.
pretty wild. I left early, so I was there. I was up early.
Yeah, but I think your hunters stayed up a little late.
Yeah.
Did they ever even go to
absolutely.
bed?
Probably not.
Okay.
That's all right. You know, we had to wake Promo up too. We called him Slow Mo because he was like,
Wait a minute. Actually,
we totally woke you up and Bryce up. I remember.
That's
Dude,
right.
we totally
That's
did.
right.
We're banging on the door, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're almost ready." And we open the door, and they're like, they're still in bed. It was ridiculous.
That's right. That was the Saturday or Sunday morning.
I don't know.
That would have been
But
Sunday
the
morning.
other, I made sure I was up before everybody the next day.
It was daytime. That's all I know.
Right. Well, we always say I cover the night shift and he covers the day shift.
He does say that.
But is it true?
You mean we don't?
No, I'm just saying I didn't know we had a night shift until you come along, but absolutely.
Well,
man. So
who's going to cover Okinawa and Germany and Japan for our oh wait, we don't broadcast. Okay,
that excuse is just not working, bro. That's it. So anyway, we're going back.
We're going back
to Harper, Texas.
Harper, Texas on April 24th.
It's gonna be amazing.
April 24th.
That's close, man. It's like
it's not far away.
Weeks.
Now is it the 24th Friday or the 25th?
24th is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, the 23rd. Now here's 23rd. We're gonna do us a camo carpet movie premiere, but it's not really a movie; it's a TV show. But anyway, it's still a camo carpet Texas Wood
like
premiere. Yeah, Texas Wood premiere for Save Savage Outdoors.
Save Savage Outdoors.
That's gonna be awesome.
The episode y'all filmed when we were up there, and I think it also includes the hunt at La Lupita.
Yeah, you heard it first here, people, right here on Texas Wood.
Except for the people that Steve's already told.
I've kept it secret.
Oh.
Dude, he's so good at keeping a secret. Sometimes he keeps a secret from himself.
Oh, there's a lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
He's a spy, but he's a double agent.
He has to time travel.
That's it. So tell us about this year's, man. It's going to be awesome. A little different, but cool. And
well, last year we had to move the event, and so we kind of combined a couple other things into it, like our barbecue cook-off.
Right.
So in April, we're not going to be having the barbecue cook-off, but there's still lots going on that day.
Right.
What do we eat?
Oh, we're going to have a crawfish boil and barbecue.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love
still
some
gonna
Headwater for Heroes cookers will be there doing the barbecue. These guys are phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah.
They
All
do a great job. And then we'll have crawfish boil going on too.
Right.
So, we kick off the day with a sporting clay shoot.
Okay.
It's 10 stations, 100 rounds. Very competitive. Very competitive. Some of the top shooters in Central Texas will be there. It's a tough one.
Because we're not top shooters in Central Texas. We are not.
Y'all haven't practiced since
last year.
time?
No, last year was bad, and it'll probably be worse this year.
You're probably the only person out there that's been shooting clay pigeons while doing an interview on the radio.
Yeah, that's true. I might be the only one.
I think
might
you
be the
probably
only
are.
one.
Call
But
the Guinness Book.
I'm gonna tell you. Don't get me wrong. My brother and I, and our pride was hitting us, and we're like, man, we should practice. We should practice. It's like, man, do you see the price of bullets?
Oh man, it's crazy.
We just gonna look a fool again because we ain't gonna go buy all them bullets.
But y'all kind of practiced. Y'all were shooting limbs out of the trees, weren't you?
Oh yeah.
That was why they were supposed to be shooting the clay pigeons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's just one clay pigeon sitting on that limb.
But we got all the winners of each class get a free shotgun as a prize.
Right.
That's all coming from Hoffpower Ranch and Supply out of Lampasas. They're there every year for us, supporting us. And this year's no different.
Right.
We're going to have gun raffles going on throughout the day. We'll have some pretty ladies out selling raffle tickets. There's a car show going on. Y'all remember the car show?
Oh man, that was
show.
sweet.
That was incredible, and we're hoping for this year to be even better.
Yeah.
Last year, admittedly, we had new management, I guess you'd say.
Right.
New guy took it over, and man, he rocked it. Tim Thompson
Nice.
did a great job out there.
But also, last time was kind of mid-pandemic or end well, not pandemic, I guess mid-pandemic, but
the dim
end
panic.
Of like the first lockdown. Yeah, let's not go there.
We kind of had to do some things under the table to get our event going, and it was interesting.
It was all outdoor, and we were all 6 feet apart, and we all wore masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'll say.
I remember it perfectly.
Except when we were on camera, and that's legal.
Yeah. What he said.
It was after all the lockdown was over, I think. But it was weird. I remember wondering, I wonder if people going to show up on this thing or not.
Yeah, I think they were at a point there that they were tired of the lockdown. They were ready to get out, and man, did they come out. We had a great time. you know, we had a lot of vendors there, arts and craft vendors and stuff. I've already been hearing from several other bigger name vendors that are planning to come out. I know the Rudolph Optics is planning to be there.
Oh, wow.
So for those avid hunters, they're going to come see some good optics and maybe, you know, pick some stuff up.
Super
you know,
cool.
We've got our live auction, and as y'all saw last year, that gets crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Is JB coming this year?
JB,
Oh,
I'm sure he will
certain
be.
JB.
Oh,
It's
my.
rare that he misses. Now,
We
he
love
he hasn't
JB.
totally confirmed, but I bet he'll be there.
All right. JB's our boy.
Call him up.
We love JB.
JB started the sale off. You know, we had that memorial shotgun for Charles Short, who's been a supporter of ours for years, and he flew helicopters and trapping exotic game, had a crash, he died in the process, and they had a memorial over and under Benelli shotgun valued at $4,500.
Wow.
And JB, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I hope JB doesn't even mad. JB he was high bid for $12,000 for that shotgun, turned it around, and remember he gave it to one of our Gold Star kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
That boy's 15 years old and
Yeah.
has a classy shotgun.
That's awesome.
I went to pricing them. You know, Bryce came up there. My son came up there, and he was shooting clay pigeons with his assault style, whatever you want to call it. That
I don't know.
anyway, collapsible stock 12 gauge that he had, and he loved it so much. I went online. I was looking for him. I was going to give him one as a graduation present from boot camp, and I started pricing them. And I had a heart attack, and when I woke up, I got a less expensive model.
Yeah. You're like, son, you're getting that bug over and under.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing wrong with now. Hey,
No,
wait,
not at
they're
all.
not giving us any money.
That's it.
Edit that out.
Yeah, edit that out.
Speaking of your son, Bryce, I want to say thank you, Bryce. Shout out to you for serving our country. And I also want to thank all the veterans that I know are here today.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for serving our country, because that's what our organization is all about.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I took liberty.
No, that's good.
You take all the liberty you want.
Well, I think it's important, you know, because that's what we support.
Right.
I mean, we take the combat wounded and the Gold Star families hunting and fishing every year.
Yeah.
At no cost to them. And it's all done with volunteers. I don't even get paid.
Yeah.
I've got my own job and my own company to run.
That's something I want to brag about, y'all. You know, because we've we've done a lot of work over the years, of my brother and I, with organizations and good organizations. I mean, even the ones that people talk about, I've been in the inside of it and I've seen how the sausage is made. I'm like, oh, them good people trying to do good things. But I'm gonna tell you, y'all's man, we saw how y'all ran things. We were just like, oh man, we want to link up with y'all and partner up with you guys. Absolutely incredible. The highest integrity I've ever seen in a nonprofit like that. It's just incredible, and also very efficient. Like I think maybe the one person that you have on staff or whatever is just, I mean, man, everything's organized. You're very organized. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you and your organization. Everything we did was just that we've done with y'all has just been very organized and all about the veterans. We tried to take you hunting, and you're like, no, man, I can't do that. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go knock down some big old monster, and it just ain't happening. You know, that's what we do.
Our hearts are in the right place. And It's not about us. It's about our veterans. It's about our Gold Star kids. And you know, I tell people, we take our veterans. They don't get to hunt every year with us. Right. It's because there's so many out there that we take care of, and there's so many non-visible wounds.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's guys out there that lost legs and arms, and they're in wheelchairs, and they get a lot of stuff, and they should. But there's a lot of guys out there that are dealing with PTSD, and that is a wound in my book, a wound of the brain.
Absolutely.
And just what we do with these guys is get them together and let them be together, because when you look at our logo, the dog tags say "Soldiers Helping Soldiers."
Right.
And many people ask me, well, Steve, did you serve? And the answer is no. But my dad did, so I had the right training.
Right.
But what we see is these guys, when they're together, they're helping each other get through the dark times and understand that there is a life ahead of them. Now, by incorporating that into the hunting and on the ranches we're on, and they're around people that haven't served, and we just treat everybody like family, and they realize they're okay. There's nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, the PTSD, in my book, has gotten a bad rap.
Right.
You know, it's people are afraid to hire anybody that's served because they say, oh, there's a chance this guy's got PTSD. Well, if you look at the people that are suffering from PTSD, it's suicide.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're not going out and hurting their families and hurting others.
Sure.
They're hurting themselves.
Right.
And we know what suicide
do
does to
those
the
same
families,
people
but-
say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you worked for the post office, so we're not going to hire you"?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that my kid, Bryce's stepdad, Scott, who's one of my best friends, Randal and I met with him. He's a defense contractor, and very, very, he served in the Army and then worked for. You know what? Let's not get into his pedigree,
Right.
but anyway, he was talking about he was entrenched with another organization and we took the opportunity to say, they got a big staff, they've got a big payroll, let us introduce you to an organization that's all volunteer. Anything they raise goes toward what they're trying to accomplish, and I'm gonna see if I can't get him up there with us in April, because he they contribute quite a bit of money and time, and so I would like to get them involved as well.
Awesome.
And that's
Well,
I'll give them a plug. Argent World Services. That's Scott's company, and my ex-wife, my first wife, they run that company together, and it's an outstanding organization. When we start talking about how Scott's one of my best friends, people think it's a little strange, but not for us, and it worked well for the kids. So
Right.
That's the important thing.
yeah,
Absolutely.
As long as it works for the kids.
I would think that my kids are pretty well developed.
I think
Well, I tell you what, we're excited about April 24th, right?
Right.
Yeah,
April 24th.
We're excited about that.
We're
I
excited
can't
to have
keep
you
up
guys
with
back.
dates. We're excited to be down there, go shooting, go hanging out. It was fun just being around, all these bidders and all that kind of stuff, and
Well, we got-
taking pictures with the trophies and all that kind of stuff. We had a good time, man. We
You
stuck
know,
around
the
a long
auction,
time.
we got a lot of good things coming in the auction, but we're going to have a couple of special items in the auction, local, and we try to support our local youth as well. So we always have the Boy Scouts posting the color. I think that's great. These kids are learning it right,
Sure.
and they're going to serve our country, I'm sure, in some form or fashion. But we have the Harper High School Band is raising money right now.
Oh, wow.
They don't know I'm plugging them right now.
Right.
But they're raising money right now because they're going to travel to Hawaii to play during the Pearl Harbor
Wow.
celebration.
That is
super
So we're going to
cool.
have an item in our auction where the proceeds are going to go to them.
Wow.
That is
So
very
Hear
cool.
that, y'all? Come out and bid on that item. Bid on the other items. It's going to a great cause.
Send the tuba player to Hawaii.
I mean, we're going to have guns. We've got some of the early hunts coming in. G2's always there for us.
Yeah.
That's Premier Whitetail Hunting in Pierce
Yeah.
River.
Sure.
Callan Arns donated, and this is Primo.
Yeah.
A free-range trophy aoudad hunt
Wow.
out in Presidio,
Man.
Texas. You better be ready to hike the mountains.
Ooh, man, I'm
That's
telling
going
you.
to be a tough one.
I'm
and
telling
we've
you.
got a lot of interest in that one.
And you better be a good shot and be ready to follow up, because them sun guns
Absolutely.
is tough.
Texas Hunt Lodge is going to be there with some hunts for us.
Right.
Last time they sold a trophy bison in our auction, and that was given to one of our Gold Star girls. I just had the pleasure of being with her on that hunt.
Wow.
She was remarkable. She took that big bison down, and he scored in the gold range. So she's going to be at the Trophy Game Records of the World here coming up in July,
Wow, that's so
receiving
cool.
an award. So,
That's so
and we also
cool.
have another Gold Star boy that shot a trophy red sheep this year that went gold
Wow.
as well. So we're excited about that. I mean, it's some really good stuff that's going to be in our auction,
Man,
along
I
with
can't-
fishing trips.
I can't wait. And so we're going to see y'all out there April
Absolutely.
24th.
That's the day before my
coming up.
birthday.
That's coming up, and we're going.
Yeah, so we're gonna be waking up on my birthday the next morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
we better have a birthday
No, you don't know.
celebration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 29.
You look 29.
I know, from the back maybe.
All right, Mr. Sweeney, thanks for dropping by.
Thank you,
we
sir.
can't wait to be out there in a couple weeks, man. It's going to be awesome, and we love you, and we love your organization, and we're just
We love
proud
you
to
guys.
be
We appreciate the support.
associated with y'all. Y'all make it out there April 24th to Harper, Texas, the Headwaters for Heroes at the Headwaters Saloon, and man, it's going to be a good time. And look for that invitation, in case you can get lucky enough to get that invite to that camo carpet Texas Wood premiere Save Savage Safe Savage Outdoors. I almost said Safe Savage Sunday Service, man. Safe Savage Outdoors. All right.
Well, thank y'all for having me on.
We'll be right back with Texas Wood here in a minute.
Crazy Frogs is the ultimate bar and grill. With premium drinks, signature shots, specials, and incredible food cooked fresh every day. So let the good times roll with billiards, darts, games, and great people ready for karaoke, trivia nights, and good old-fashioned fun. Only at your local Crazy Frogs Bar and Grill.
TEXASWOOD.
Yeah. And the Cortez family.
Man, I'm talking about it.
Ronnie and Sheri.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sheri, yes.
Yes.
It's
Troublemaker 1 and 2.
Exactly. We were we were talking a little bit before, and I didn't know. I guess y'all both movie fans, but man, she was bringing some obscure, low budget movies, and I was like, man, look at her.
Hey, with the past year, that's all we got is movies. So.
That's
So
it.
true.
That's it. Yeah. So it has been a crazy year.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. So yeah. So
hey, wait a minute.
oh,
We got some support in the house for Ronnie. Thin Blue Line Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club's in the house. All right. Sorry to interrupt, but I got to recognize my family when they come see
there
us.
you go. See, I didn't see them. They were behind me.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
they snuck in all like, stealthy.
Yeah.
That's the way they operate.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, man, it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank
you. So it's just man, we've actually been wanting you on here since we first started TEXASWOOD.
Well, I've been talking to them about it, and I wanted to make sure that it was someplace that they didn't have to drive,
Right.
50 miles to be there, but we've kept in communication, and I get to see Ronnie and Sheri all the time. You don't get to see them as often, but
I don't.
But and for obvious reasons. I mean, the man is a hero to us,
Sure.
and to a lot of people. But the thing that said, man, we got to have Ronnie on the show,
Right.
and bring Sheri with him, because there was a video, and I follow y'all all the time, and I watch what y'all are doing.
That sounded kind of stalky, didn't it?
We've gotten good at the videos.
So you're the one that's been putting me in jail, huh?
No, I would never report you. I might, enable you, but I'll never report you. But there was this video that you made, and it was you from your wheelchair vacuuming the house. And it wasn't like, hey, look at me, I can vacuum from my wheelchair. The post was about you were praising God and thanking God for your blessings and just, and I was sitting there thinking, man, if I'd been through everything that Ronnie or, and Sheri as well, because she's your rock, she's been there the whole time. Could I do that? Could I be that person?
Well, that's something I learned at the start of all this, is like when I was in Cheetah, I saw other people in the hospital.
Right.
They were a lot worse off than I was.
Sure.
I was able to talk, I was able to use my hands, so just for that fact alone, I felt that
I was good.
Yeah.
So, and that's the way I kept it. That's the way I kept looking at it the whole way.
And it wasn't something you developed. From what I understand, I guess the day after the incident, your brother walked into the room, and all you looked up and you said, "Well, at least I can work my upper body now," or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And that's incredible to me.
And that's the way I look at it from there. It's like,
so
I have access to my mouth, I have access to my arms. I'm good. Like I said, the people in the hospital, they're like a lot worse off than I was. They were on ventilators. They were, using, I hate to say it this way, but using straws to, communicate and talk, do things for themselves. It's like with what I was left with or given, however you want to look at it, I was good with that.
Well, if you don't mind, changing directions a little bit, tell us a little bit about that day, February, I think it was
2017.
Yeah.
Basically it started out like a normal day. I was in another part of the city doing surveillance on I'm with the gang unit, so I was doing surveillance on an aggravated robbery vehicle on another part of the city. Well, I monitor the radio, just to keep track of what's going on also. And it just so happens that I live in the area that I also patrol. So, I heard my address or the street address come over on the radio.
That would be hard
so
to
I'm like,
deal with.
I'm like, okay, something's going down on my street. So immediately I call my wife. I say, hey, just to let her know, I say, hey, you got burglars dropping on, down the street. You might want to just keep track. And, and while I'm talking to her on the phone, she's going out looking out the bedroom window, and she sees guys in my backyard. And so then at that point, she hangs up, and I know, she's trained well.
Sure.
So I know what she's doing. She's calling 911. She's getting on the phone, right? So at that point,
and if I know her, she's locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
I apologize.
So at that point, I know she's taking care of stuff on that end. So basically, I just tell my guys from my unit, I say, hey, don't worry about coming out here with me. Head over to my neighborhood, and we'll start locking it down over there, and the rest is history.
How many times were you shot?
4 times.
4 times.
Yes.
2 of them in the head.
Yes.
And then 2 of them in your spine.
1 in my ass, and then 1 in
hip. It went through the hip and came
through the
out the
hip,
back.
and then the other in my spine.
Yeah.
The first one was the spine because that took me down first.
So you've got a Forrest Gump wound.
Yeah, you got a Forrest Gump.
In the buttocks.
In the buttocks.
Well, I'd sure like to see that.
In the buttocks.
Yeah.
So basically, call dropped. We get down there into the neighborhood. We start setting up perimeters around the neighborhood. Then basically we just start doing a yard-to-yard search of the suspect. Get K9 out there. We got the Fox, which is a helicopter. They come out there. They don't locate him. So basically, we're like still there in the area, about to leave. Well, then one of my guys gets flagged down by a citizen and says, hey, there's a shed in the back of this one house. You might want to check. And so we start heading toward that area, go talk to the owner of the yard.
Yeah.
We say, hey, is it okay if we come in the backyard to check your shed? Well, a couple of the guys already had jumped the fence, and the shed was locked. So basically I'm asking the owner of the shed, I was like, hey, do you mind if we, force entry into your shed? And so he said, yeah, go ahead. It shouldn't be locked, but we're like, yeah, it is. So at that time we just go, set up on the shed, then kick it, door opens, nobody's in there. It's a small, maybe like 4x6
5x5,
shed.
Yeah.
It's real small. Door's not going all the way up, so Spidey senses there's somebody behind the door, right?
Sure.
So basically we got our guns drawn, telling the suspect, come out if you're in there. And all of a sudden a hand pops out from behind the door. So I put my gun up, get the hand, put a handcuff on the hand, and I start going in there to arrest him. Well, at that time, while I'm in there, struggle starts. Officer Munoz comes in there with me, and we start fighting with the suspect because he's not giving up. And then one thing led to another. Next thing you know, you hear gunfire. I go down, and then the rest is history.
And Munoz was also shot.
Yeah, Munoz was shot in the foot. And then as he was going out, him and my Sergeant Garza, they ended up suppressing, putting the guy out of his misery, the suspect.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Man, that's intense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and and Sheri, I'm guessing that shortly after that you got a phone call, or
No, I was there. I was actually there when it all happened. I've actually, sadly, and it's not a badge of honor, but seems to be what everybody talks about, is that I'm the first Texas wife witnessing her husband's own shooting.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was actually there, standing in the street with him. They were about to leave. And I was actually trying to get them to hurry up and leave because I had an oil change to do on my car, and they were bothering me by blocking my car in. So I kept telling them, the guy's gone, y'all just take off and leave. I mean, this is a waste of time, all this drama going on in my neighborhood. And that's when it came over the radio that Munoz and the shed. So I turned to look at him when we were just talking, and I saw him running away from me. And being married to him 25 years, I had the most horrible feeling of dread. I knew he wasn't coming back. I had the feeling of him not coming back. So I went after him. He went on one side of the house, I went on the left side of the house, and I scaled the fence. The fence was halfway open, but I couldn't push it all the way open because there was a trash can on the other side. So I pushed it through all the way and heard all the pops and backed up because I knew if he saw me there, he'd be mad at me for being in the middle of the scene. So I started backing up, and then another officer, Santa Maria, came behind me, and they came around. And when I went around, I saw him laying. He was in the shed. All I saw was boots. His boots were hanging out of the shed. And I didn't see the suspect. The suspect was already dead outside the shed. They had already terminated him. But because I was so focused on what I was, I wasn't absorbing what I was seeing. And everybody was kind of in shock about what was happening. All the officers were, and they just kind of converged on there. And his partner had kind of gotten me out, and I turned around and spider monkeyed the fence and came back through there because I just couldn't leave him.
Of course.
I didn't want to see it, but also I wasn't registering what was happening.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
not your typical husband and wife stuff.
No,
And
Not your normal day.
No.
Yeah.
So, and I was
horrifying.
screaming his name, and he wasn't answering.
Right.
You know, so which was not right.
No, that's horrifying.
So I was probably messed up for a good week. I remember being in the hospital with him at the hospital, and the nurses kept coming in and telling me, "Well, honey, you need to understand he's going to need to go to rehab." And I was like, "He's got a drug problem?"
Right.
I didn't know my husband had a drug problem. You know, I was like, "He's got to go to rehab," and they were like, "Oh, something's really wrong with her."
I'm gonna tell you what. After that experience, you're lucky you didn't have a drug problem. Like,
I remember it was kind of like a little
that's crazy.
touch and go there for me. And I never left him. From the moment we were at the hospital that night in ICU, I just wouldn't leave him, even through tear. I had this always concern that somebody was going to hurt him, you know, and here he is paralyzed from the chest down. How's he going to protect himself? So I just stayed with him the entire time and drove him crazy. He kept trying to get me to leave, and I wouldn't leave. I'd leave for like 30 minutes and then come right back, you know, and so.
I'll tell you what, we try not to get too political on this show, but I'm going to tell you, we ain't for defunding no police.
No, we're not.
TEXASWOOD ain't about that.
No,
And,
definitely not.
That's just amazing. So what about, you know, I mean, obviously the rehab and all that, but like, you know, like life after that incident, I mean, what is that, you know, what does that look like?
Right now,
you know?
right now I'm still in the stage of working to walk. So basically I'm still keeping myself in shape. I'm still, you know, the funny thing about me is that, you know, if you look at, you know, I don't want to be mean or anything like that, but if you look at most paraplegic, they lose a lot of muscle tone in their legs.
Yeah.
They got
Muscle atrophy.
Sure.
So that's one thing that I haven't lost. Sure. And I kind of look at that in a good way, but trust me, it's a bad way because I gotta lug the heavy weights.
Right.
You know,
I've watched your workout videos.
I've often thought about cutting them off. But I don't think that would suit me. But yeah, it's like, you know, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to do things. And you know, a lot of guys, they just like throw their legs over like that, and I'm like, anytime I try to move mine, they like fight me and they kick me, and so right now I'm still in the phase of trying to, you know, get back function in them. So that means just keeping my upper body to where you know I can get around because you know I'm a big guy, so I don't want to leave her to have to deal with it because it's a lot of weight. So basically, it's 2 weeks of therapy at Tier, doing what they call the local mat. It's the robotic legs that you know basically
Robocop machine.
Well, that's what I was about to say. They're gonna have that. They're gonna have those exoskeletons going here. You know.
But see, the funny thing about me also is that all the exoskeletons and stuff like that, I'm too big for them.
He's too big.
My body frame is too big. I mean,
Wow.
I'm what they call a bariatric in the hospital.
A bariatric.
You know, I got, you know, when I'm little, I'm husky, but now I'm bariatric.
Yeah, right.
So I guess it's a promotion.
Where's Brother Rick? We need to get to work in the workshop on some oversized RoboCop legs.
So basically, it's all
he's
just
on
therapy.
it. He says he's on it.
It's all just basically therapy to keep my, you know, my health up, physical fitness, I guess, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of had to retrain his brain is what it is because he's kind of baffled all the neurosurgeons and all the spine doctors because he looks exactly the same way as he did the day he was shot. So they're always like, "Are you sure you should be in that chair?" You know, because
I didn't realize that.
He's not supposed to have muscular legs, and he does, and so they've told him that he really just needs to retrain his brain to trust his body because he can't feel anything, but he can stand. But it's scary to him because he can't feel anything. I mean, I can't imagine what that's like. That you just got to trust the blanket space beneath you and hope your legs hold you up. And so it's he's got to just retrain his mentality, and that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well, there's no telling. You know, besides just the fact that God's a big God and a miracle working God, there's also just you know the technology is just.
Out there.
I mean, it's going so quickly, you know. It's just incredible.
Well, and you know, and I just want to say that we do owe everything to God here.
Absolutely.
And I am going to tell you that, and I know it bothers him to hear this, but it's the way it went down. He's a miracle. He should not be here, and that is a fact. That kid held that gun to the back of his head, told him he was going to kill him, get ready to die, pulled the trigger, and those bullets bounced off of the back of his head.
Wow.
2 bullets. The third bullet that he shot jammed in the gun, and he had 6 bullets left, and he didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a miracle. God wants him here for a reason.
Well, we're glad you're
probably
here.
Just drive me crazy.
You know,
talk about being hard-headed. I'm just saying.
He's got that Cortez head.
Yeah, man.
He's definitely a miracle.
It's just amazing. It is a miracle. And you know, and you're here for, you know, you're still here for a reason.
Still
here
for a reason.
You got a reason.
Trying to figure it out what it is, but I'm here.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, you figure it out. We got your back. We'll help you out any way we can.
Thank you.
And then I'll tell you, you know, be careful what you ask for. God might tell you to do something that's like, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Seriously? Because that's what happens to me.
Yeah.
Well, the good things that he's done is he's gone and visited other officers who've been shot.
That's what we try to do. We try to help.
Anytime we hear about it,
to explain to them what's going on and what to expect.
Yes.
And, you know, it's like, because when this happened to us, you know, she was out there by herself on her own.
Yeah.
She didn't know exactly what to do, what decisions to make and all. So, you know, that's one thing we've tried to do is we try to go out and help other people that are other officers that get injured.
Right.
Just let them.
Do y'all work with an organization that does that, or are y'all starting that organization, or what?
Well, we've talked about. I was part of the Houston Police Family Support Unit, which is a great organization that helps injured officers in the line of duty, and they also help officers' families who've been killed in the line of duty. So I was with them for a while. And then we branched off. We want to kind of do something on our own to help catastrophic officers.
Right.
And we've helped officers all the way up in Dallas who's the wives just don't know what to do.
Right.
They don't know what to expect, how to talk to the insurance companies or whatever.
Right.
So we just kind of tell them our experiences. Everybody's different, but we explain to them, kind of what to expect. And it's helped a lot of people. I mean, here locally, Chase Cormier, who was in the helicopter crash, we've worked with him a lot. So
We've been helping out. We get with Relentless Defender.
Relentless Defenders are big.
Well, I'll tell you what, when y'all get that organization all started or figured out, or even in the starting process, you let us know.
Absolutely.
We'll be a big part of it in any way we can, and help get that going. And
well, y'all got a guy right here with TBL. They're in their own mind.
That's it.
They do their own good deeds.
That's it. Absolutely. So
they're a great organization.
Man, I'm blessed to be part of it.
Well,
they are really great.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for your service. And cleaning up the community and all that. And I tell you, we got to support. We've got to support our law officers. So.
Yes.
We love y'all. We can't wait to have you back. I'm telling you, we'll help in any way when y'all decide what y'all going to start. All right.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all, and we'll be back with Texas Wood here shortly.
And Wes Hayden.
Yeah. Texas Wood is brought to you by Tuna, the manly salon. Because there ain't nothing unmanly about getting your hair cut and your eyebrows and ears waxed.
Sinning, cheating women and getting stoned. Some might say I'm a bad seed that never should have been sown. Well, it's my life, my way, breaking the rules that I make, and now live it till the day I die. It's my drum, my beat that carries the boots on my feet, and I may not walk the straightest line, but it's my life. Like an outlaw, I've been in bar brawls I should have walked away from. I've had broken bones, I got scars to show, like notches on the butt of a gun. And it ain't nothing
back at Texas Wood
with Wes Hayden.
Dude.
What's up, guys?
Now,
thanks for having me, man.
We haven't had you yet, but give us a minute.
No, okay. I
So,
better get ready then.
I want to jump into something. I read something. You got a fox.
You read something?
Well, okay, somebody read something to me.
That makes more sense.
That you got a Fox Award for being America's favorite bad boy.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I did. Actually, Kim Kardashian sat here and Paris Hilton sat here, and it was by no means the highlight of my life.
Yeah.
I had a lot of wine, though. It was pretty good. Drank a lot of wine.
So I was telling somebody that you were going to be on the show who's a big fan of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and everything, which, and she goes, oh my God, he was such a jerk.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
who was a jerk?
He was a jerk.
You were a jerk?
Well, that was part of the deal is, when you go on these shows, you're cast for a certain thing.
Oh, yeah.
You do TV, so I would tell people all the time. Oddly enough, me and Jillian, the girl, are still super close. She's up in Canada, and I made so many great friends. But you know, once you see coming out of that little black box, people still believe wrestling's real.
Yeah. Whoa. You will not besmirch the name of Randal Reeder in this house.
I know, Randal, but you know what I mean. Like when I was a kid, I thought Hacksaw Jim Duggan was really.
No, people ask me, you know, it's like, hey man, is wrestling real? I'm like,
really?
You're joking, right? Like, come on.
I mean, it's real in the fact that you're physical.
Yeah.
But it's not real in the fact
we really
that
get hurt.
Absolutely, you get hurt, but it's not like you're going and you hate each other and you've got like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's TV. It's showmanship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the show was.
The general rule is there's nothing real about reality television.
No, there's really not.
Yeah.
Very little.
Very little.
Or as we call it, unscripted, but
it's heavily produced.
Yeah,
it's unscripted, but it's led.
It's a lot like professional wrestling, where they say, "Okay, this is what's going to happen. Make that happen."
Tell us about it. I mean, tell us about like what was that experience like, man? I mean, that's cool.
Man, it was. You know, I'm not to sit here and preach all the time, even though I am a preacher by trade. Sometimes it depends on the day and the hour.
I know.
But anyway, so like Romans 28:8, I believe, or 8:28 says all things work together for the good, right?
Right.
So when my sister signed me up for the show, I was younger at the time, but I was living in Austin, and I had no idea she had signed me up for it. So they called me on the phone, and she did it online, and they said, "Hey, we love you. We'd like to have you on the show." And I was like, "I don't watch The Bachelor, and didn't sign up."
Right.
So she said, "No, we got your application. They signed you up, and we'd love to have you." So they flew me out, and I was like, "You know what? I was, a musician back then, and I was just really playing in Texas. I was like, maybe I can sell some records and get some national recognition."
Sure.
And oddly enough, I did the show, and I had no idea I was being cast as the villain. I was that guy from East Texas that liked to drink beer and whiskey. And when he drinks beer and whiskey, he gets loud and he talks a lot of noise, but it's all it's like with your boys.
Right.
And so, the looser I got, the more they were like, "Yeah, that's great. Just keep doing what you're doing." And I'm like, "Oh, well," because everybody was loose. Yeah, so and then, when I got the edit, it almost destroyed me, man. I mean, it was the most, New York Times had me as the most hated man in America. I mean, I was in every magazine spread you could think about, on the covers, inside, there's like, this guy, he was awful, what he did to this girl, and I'm sitting there going, dude, but I swear to God, that's not how it went down.
Yeah, right.
But there's so much editing that goes on into it. There's so much, man.
Cuts and Franken edits.
Oh,
they actually call it that.
Like
They'll
be
take
talking
something from here and put it in another conversation.
Sort of like mainstream media.
Well, they'll be having the camera on you and you're talking, and then they take the camera off you can't see you, and they're putting in stuff that you had said way back in the day. Or I remember going there after the show was almost over, and we were flying to Spain to see if we were going to marry her, and they made you come in for 2 solid days, 8 hours a day, sitting in the same clothes you were wearing on certain days, and then they were asking you questions. You know how they do it. They splice these in and out.
Sure.
But so, man, long story short, man, I get super famous real fast. And next thing you know, I'm partying in Hollywood and with all these celebrities, and Britney Spears is a fan of mine, and everybody knows me, and I was drinking more, I was drugging more, I was screwing more. I mean, I was just in all of it.
Right.
I was so totally wrapped up in it. And
so you got into carpentry then?
Yeah, I was definitely a carpenter.
Okay.
But man, and long story short, I burned all my bridges and became homeless for about 5 years. Lived out of my truck, that same truck sitting out there, and had more of a spiritual awakening, I guess you could say, about 4 or 5 years ago at that time, and just turned my life around. And they've asked me to do more shows for them. I got nothing for them. I don't desire to have any of that.
You were grounded in faith, though.
I was.
Before all this happened.
Absolutely. Well, you got to use the
and
word grounded
you kind of got
loosely.
away from it.
You got to use the word grounded loosely. I mean, I was raised in the church, grew up playing the drums in the church. I got a degree in biblical studies. I went to Bible school. I worked for ministries. I traveled all over the world doing it. But, and I know this isn't what the show's for, but there's a difference in saying a prayer, in this so-called sinner's prayer that's not even in the Bible. It's something we made up.
Right.
And somebody who actually is a follower of Christ.
Right.
There's a big difference.
Right. Absolutely.
And to me, a born-again experience is what happens over time. It's not real fast. it's a slow
well,
progression.
even Paul talks about that you work out your salvation
That's
with
right,
fear
yeah.
and trembling.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the word fear and trembling in that, if you read in the Greek, it means an awesome wonder.
Yeah.
And an awesome wonder. So there's really no
Right.
condemnation in anything you do. It just
Sure.
sort of falls off over time when you get serious. And
Yeah,
then you're just walking
absolutely.
this life in this path. All of a sudden you're like, whoa. My mom's like, who are you? I don't even know this guy.
Right.
Your friends are like, who are you? But there's a major change that happens, and Hollywood is in music industry in Hollywood are very, very dangerous places to be.
Oh yeah. It's dangerous places to play.
Dangerous place to play, to act. I mean, when you're in that environment, I mean, it literally brings out that serpent in you.
Well, yeah, it's just something it totally feeds the ego.
All of it, yeah.
Even either business, you have to learn so much about yourself, really, to even to be able to dig that stuff up or to play that role or whatever. And the danger about that is you spend so much time on yourself that you can easily the collateral damage is self-centeredness, selfish, self-serving, all that.
I mean, it is me.
Yeah,
it's all about me, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but the good part of that was 5 years ago, actually 3 years ago, I was living out of my truck. And today I'm rich and successful and happy, and all I did was change everything in my mind.
Right.
Henry Ford
And your heart.
Well, but see, when you study in this, because I'm fluent in Greek and Hebrew, so when you study the heart, anytime the Bible talks about the heart, it's the subconscious of man.
Right.
When you study mysticism, you understand that love the Lord thy God with all your spirit, soul, and mind.
Right.
That's
Sure.
the three-part being. Your conscious, your superconscious, and your subconscious.
Right.
So everything is really in the mind.
Sure.
Put on the mind of Christ.
Yeah.
So when I started changing Romans 12:1 and 2, be not conformed to this world, but rather be transformed into a new person by changing the way you think. It's all psychological. And when I learned that the Bible is not necessarily a book of theology, it is psychology.
Yeah.
That happened to me, my life changed.
Right.
And here I am now, and I'm having a good conversation with you guys, and
Dude, I love it.
hanging it
That's
out.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
This stuff, man. We gonna be buddies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We gonna stay in touch
By the
and
way,
talk about stuff.
We never lose anybody.
Yeah.
We keep everybody, once they become part of us.
Sure.
Yeah.
We keep them for life,
Yeah, it's
like
family.
luggage.
You have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
So tell us about, man. That's incredible, and I'm telling you, we're gonna jam on that for years to come. I
Amen to that.
guarantee you. You just dropped some stuff that's got me all excited. But so tell me about the music. Tell me about where you at with because you're back with the music career. Right?
Yeah, man, it's I'm kind of in a limbo right now. So, I was on the road with Joe Nichols and Gary Allen, and we were playing all the time and at the height of my kind of thing, and I was doing it all independent, had deals with Sony and BMG, but I was doing it all independent, and just with a big old fat head. Well, anyway, lost everything. And then when Hurricane Harvey hit, I was in Orlando, Florida. And I was like, man, I saw what was going on here, and this is where I'm from.
Right.
I was like, man, I need to get home and start helping these people. So I came home, and growing up in Huntsville, Texas, we know how to build things early on.
Right.
So being a musician, I was always working construction too, because those are jobs I don't have to work on the weekends.
Right.
So I learned how to build. So I came home and started rebuilding houses for people for literally hardly nothing.
Wow.
Just to serve. And that's why I was still homeless, but I was just being a servant. And every time I could find a place to serve, I would do it. And I would give, and I would do it. Man, the next thing you know, dude, it's just money's flying at me from all angles. I meet all the right trades. Now I got one of the biggest businesses building houses in Conroe, from Huntsville to Shenandoah, and I'm all word of mouth.
Right.
And so
that's amazing.
I was getting back into music, thinking, well, now I'm not a complete drunk anymore, and I've learned how to harness my thing.
Right.
And then we're doing it. We pushed a couple singles. I'm playing at the place called the Broken Spoke in Austin quite a bit in the Copeland Inn and Dance Hall.
Know it well.
Yeah, Broken Spoke, Copeland Inn. Doing some other things, but finally have a new team. We had in Nashville and some promoters here and people that want to really push me into full time. But I'm really struggling, wondering if this is really what I want. Because it's at my age, it's like.
Well, a couple of weeks ago we had Sundance Head on the phone.
on the phone on the
the
show, and he didn't even have his first band until he was 33.
Wow, yeah.
And he won The Voice and recorded his first major album at the age of 40.
Yeah.
And so it's not your timing, it's God's timing.
Absolutely.
And so you don't get to choose.
Yeah.
So just I would tell you something. If this was a choice, he'd have never chose me.
Right. Right.
We've been friends for more than a decade.
Yeah.
We met. I was doing radio, and it was a not a family friendly radio program I was doing, and a mutual friend of ours that's still in radio got us together, and we spent a few days together in one of the most raucous atmospheres you could possibly imagine.
Sure.
And by the end of those 3 days, he and I were like, both of us just knew that we were going to be working together. Yeah. And it took 10 years, but you know what? And we didn't force it.
Yeah.
We tried a couple little things here and there.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, and when it broke, it broke. I mean, we started doing the TEXASWOOD video podcast and Save Savage Ministries at the same time.
Wow.
Went from, doing nothing
Which is
together.
kind of awesome, because what's more TEXASWOOD than you?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Oh well, I mean,
and then Save Savage.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to come out and get you out speaking at Save Savage and all that, man.
And play it.
Super cool.
He told me. I said, you know any gospel? He said, do I know gospel?
Yeah. I mean, I was on the praise and worship team for years, but I tell you the major difference between me now and then was I don't desire the fame and the money and the fortune anymore. There was a time that I did.
Sure.
And being an actor, I mean, when I was in my heyday, I would go into places and security would have to get me out the back door because the women were going crazy.
Right.
And the dudes wanted to hang with me thinking they were going to get some residual women.
Right.
Right? So it was just everybody.
Or they wanted to knock you out, so they were the one that knocked you out.
I did get my jaw broke at a place called Moe's in Katy. I was talking to a girl.
I know that place well.
I used to play there. I was talking to a girl there. She was asking me about a girl named Gia that I was dating from the Bachelor pad. I never saw it coming. Some old boy just hit me on this side, broke my jaw, wired shut for 6 weeks. Some of them places are rough.
Yeah, man.
Especially you're right there. You're right. But he didn't knock me out. I turned around and crushed him with my beer bottle.
Oh, I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That's savage
In
right
Jesus'
there.
name.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna bless you with this fivefold ministry,
Right, yeah.
Well, Jesus told his disciples, if you don't have a sword, sell whatever you have to sell and get a sword.
I don't know if that meant if you don't have a beer bottle, go get a beer bottle. But hey, it works.
If you don't have a sword, use a beer bottle.
The beer bottle's empty and you need a refill.
That's it.
There's always that. Who knows?
Well, man, where are you playing these days? I mean, you talking about are you regular there at the Broken
I'm a
Spoke
regular
and
at
all
the
that?
Spoke. We do one night a month there. I'll be there April 24th.
Okay.
Of course, Copeland and
we can't go.
April 20th. We are double triple booked on April 24th.
Yeah, the lady that books the Copeland, the owner, she's got a place in Wimberley called, I think it's called, what's the name of that bar? It's this legendary place. I'm trying to get her to let me in there.
In Wimberley.
The Devil's Backbone Tavern.
Okay.
You ever heard of the Devil's Backbone Tavern?
Have I heard of it? I actually know the people that own it.
Yeah.
My dad's best friend has got a place in Fisher, right on the other, sandwiched between the Backbone and Blanco.
Sure.
And he's got hundreds of acres overlooking Canyon Lake, and that's where we always go.
Dude, that place is...
It's cool.
Have you heard the song, The Ballad of the Devil's Backbone Tavern? It's a great song.
I don't know if I have.
It's an old folky song, but we're playing. We're just letting things open up. Things are just now starting to reopen.
Starting to open up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I'm working, being a servant, got tons of work going on, and then we're just, gigging here and there on the weekends.
Yeah.
But about to release another single called This Old House.
Yeah.
People can get on Spotify or Amazon or any of those platforms and look up Wes Hayden.
Absolutely.
Check out the new record.
Well, we'll definitely help you promote
absolutely. And anytime, man, if we're in Austin, we got to catch up and hang out and have you on the show.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
man.
TEXASWOOD, so it ain't just Houston Wood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're starting to branch out. Thanks for coming out
Yeah,
here.
thanks for having me.
big fans, and really love your heart too. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, that's the cool thing, and all the tattoos. You know, good tattoos, a good heart. You know, I love that stuff, man.
Thank you, man.
And you know, Lone Star Fertilizer hat. You
Lone
know,
Star
that's,
feet.
that's
You know,
it.
Got to
That's
represent
it.
Huntsville.
I love it. Very cool, man.
Thanks.
Well, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And thank y'all for tuning in to Texas Wood, and we'll see y'all next time.
Adios.
Love y'all.
Well, folks, that's it for now. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the happenings in Texas Wood. God bless, and see you next time.
Man, would you like a Texas Wood hat? I've got a whole truckload. I'm giving them away.
Okay, thanks.
All right, sure. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks for coming.